Do you believe that you can cause learning? Do you believe that it doesn't matter if the child is coming from a one-parent family, two-parent family, raised by their grandparents, living in a foster home? It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is who's teaching the class. That's the most important thing that we have to take away. That guess what? We sometimes think because this child is coming from a certain home environment, they can't achieve at a high level. John Hattie said that is scientifically incorrect. That the most predictive factor of whether that child will pass or fail is who's in front of the class. That's teacher collective efficacy. And so we have to believe that we can do this work. I'm arguing that we all have a different swagger this year. I'm talking about when you step foot in that class and those kids are in there and you swag in that room and you let them know, hey, everybody, you are in the best class in the building. In fact, you got the best teacher in the building. See, if everybody say that, no one will get jealous. But we all got to say the same stuff. If we believe that a child is at an advantage because they have you as their teacher, that's how we should feel about ourselves. That's the efficacy that we have to have going into the classroom. So we all have to embrace this mindset where we are efficacious. We have this confidence in our ability to actually cause learning, that we hold students to high expectations and we never lower them. We don't care what the situation or circumstance is. I believe that every child can achieve at a high level, and I'm not taking no for an answer. Everyone is going to achieve at a high level because I'm going to hold you accountable to those high expectations. And so I like to say we need teachers with a purpose. You can't just be here to move the academic needle. I know that's what we do, but in my opinion, that's secondary. If I do all of the other stuff, the academic needle is going to move. If I do the other stuff, like embracing this concept that I don't just want to move the academic needle for just a moment or a month or a year. I want to be a game changer. I want to be a difference maker. I want my reputation after I'm long and gone. I want the kids to speak for me. I want them to say, that was a teacher who spoke into my life. That teacher told me that I had capabilities that I didn't even believe. That teacher told me that I could read when I didn't think I could read. That teacher told me that I could be a mathematician when I thought math was my weakest area. That teacher spoke into my life. That's what we need today. We need teachers who are transmitters of love. We don't talk enough about love in education. When I wrote the book Relational Teaching, I defined relational teaching as the ability to create an atmosphere of love where every child feels capable, connected, and cared for. Do the children feel capable in your class? Do they feel connected? Do they feel like someone cares for them? Someone's in the ring with them. Someone will never turn their back on them. This person actually loves me. We've seen in the video the power of love. When a child feels love, every negative label falls right off of them. And every teacher with a purpose here is plenty of them. I could call them out by name. I know them, Salamino, the whole table over here. These people I work with, I know they love children. Michon, these are the educators that I know for a fact students have talked to me about. And when a student feels love, some of y'all know this, they're going to come to school every single day and pluck every last nerve you got. They're not going to allow you to just live your life as a teacher. They're going to pick with you, talk to you, visit you, because they know it's something about that class that's different. It's not just the curriculum. That's love in that space. And we also have to motivate students. And we have to strive to be unforgettable. You see, because if you just move the academic needle, yes, we got 90%. But if the child doesn't remember you, you weren't unforgettable. I never held myself accountable to move the academic needle. I expected to teach with a purpose and move the academic needle, but I wanted to be unforgettable. I wanted the children to remember me 20 years later and say, if I had not had that teacher, I wouldn't be who I am today. That was my goal. Because for me, it was about igniting the transformation process. We have to understand you're not going to transform a life in a lesson plan. You're not going to transform a life in a day. But what you can become is the spark that starts the process. And that child will never be the same because of you. Kids don't really love math. They love the person who teaches math. Kids don't really like to read. They love the person who's teaching reading. So they fall in love with the content. But I want everyone to understand this. Children will not be transformed by the curriculum. They're going to be transformed by your caring. They're going to be transformed by your love. They're going to be transformed by your encouragement. They're going to be transformed because you speak life into them. That's what's going to spark the transformation process. And I know this to be the case because it was my story. Some people here know my story. Don, where you at? Don, stand up. Don is from the exact same neighborhood that I grew up in. So if you survive Wilmer Place, you should get the gold medal anyway. But what a lot of people don't know is before I moved into Wilmer Place, I actually experienced traumatic events as a child, what we will call ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, because my uncle was in a horrific car accident on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. My family's from New York, so he's traveling from New York to go to Florida. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt, horrific accident. He had to be airlifted to the nearest hospital, which happened to be Norfolk Centera. They took him by the Nightingale, the helicopter, airlifted him, took him there, called my family and said, hey, everybody needs to get to the hospital because it doesn't look good. He probably will not be sustained after the number of surgeries he has to undergo. So my mother packed up my brother and I in a 1987 Ford Fairmont, yellow, rusty brown spots. Her name was Betsy. And Betsy was faithful. But we didn't know that Betsy would become our home. We lived in a car for about 3 to 4 weeks until my mother found us refuge in a congested homeless shelter. I went to school from a homeless shelter, sleeping on a cot with my brother. My teachers could not fathom the invisible baggage that I was bringing into the classroom. Some students are coming into your class and they're carrying invisible baggage. Stuff that you cannot see. Is beneath the surface. Is low self-esteem. Is trauma. Is disappointment. Is searching for dad or mom. They're coming in with invisible baggage. And here's what you have to understand. No child is going to unzip the invisible baggage and reveal it to you until trust is developed. When you develop trust, kids will tell you everything. People are like, baby, I think you're talking a little too much now. But everybody's coming in with invisible baggage.